Hello, welcome to Bite Size Video Series 2, Part 3. I'm Carrie Stroll, the founder and leader of the School Garden Doctor. In this video, I'll provide tips for maintaining your garden. Teens reportedly spend 9 hours per day in front of screens. Gardening can turn that screen time into green time and get kids more physically active. What do you notice in this photo? Right away, I'm drawn to the fact that the students are working independently. This is really important when considering how to engage kids in the garden. Kids should do the majority of the work, but they should want to. In the last video, I suggested ways to support kids with planting. To make your garden lessons most successful, think through the lesson in advance. Consider how you'll model how to do each task. And if you're not sure, ask an experienced gardener ahead of time. Kids may also have ideas from their families, so remember to invite them to share. Kids love to water. It's the thing they want to do most in the garden, but that can lead to some problems of sharing watering cans and over or under watering different plants. Watering cans is a great way to make this task more efficient and more effective, but you'll need a process for where to get the watering cans and store them, how to fill them, and then what plants to water. Show kids how to water the soil, not the plant leaves. In fact, most plants can get damaged or diseased when watered overhead. Finally, remember to have kids wash their hands before harvesting and store the harvest in clean containers or boxes. Show them how to use simple scissors or clippers to cut larger fruits and vegetables. Hosting a garden workday is a great way to involve families. Kids will be super excited to show what they know. For steps on how to run a successful garden workday, check out the link in the slides. In addition to family members, you can also invite other school site staff if you're working at a school that has a garden and you're running the after school program there. Volunteers from in the community. A lot of teens have required volunteer service through their high schools, and look to nonprofit organizations for support as well. If you're not sure how or when to conduct certain maintenance, please reach out to the UC Master Gardeners of Napa County. Set a calendar of weekly or monthly work days, depending on the age of your students and the needs of your space. Here are just a couple of sample seasonal tasks. When you come back to school in the fall, you'll want to start collecting seeds for saving for next year's garden. Spread compost to replenish the soil, and plant cover crops or add straw mulch to keep the soil protected during the rainy season. In the winter, be sure to turn off the drip irrigation and stay on top of weeds. While you're indoors, you can order seed catalogs, and start to plan your spring garden or start seeds for warm season crops. In the spring, you'll start more seeds indoors, pull more weeds, turn in your cover crop, and prepare your beds for planting. And in the summer, turn your drip irrigation back on, add straw mulch to reduce evaporation and keep things nice and warm, and begin harvesting. Add bark chips to pathways if it's been diminished. Here's another example of an edible theme garden and a resource in the Google Classroom for how to plant a square foot garden to make a salad from. If you don't have summer programs, you might want to close the garden for the summer, but there are other ways to maintain the garden over the summer, such as sharing the summer harvest with open garden days. Something I can't stress enough for garden maintenance is to stay on top of weeds. Weeds are going to be there all the time, so one of the best strategies is to know your worst enemies. Only pull the most problematic weeds and remove weeds before they go to seed. Something that can help you stay on top of weeds is to focus on pulling weeds in raised beds or garden areas first. Weeds in the path can be trampled or smothered or covered with bark mulch. At right, you see a weed scavenger hunt, which is available in your Google Drive. Be sure to check out this bonus bite that introduces 5 things to consider when starting and maintaining a school garden. And as always, be sure to reach out with any questions you might have.